What's up, everyone? Welcome to episode 210 of Benched. On today's episode, we're going to get into the coaching carousel madness that was last week.
Pete Carroll, Vrabel, it's all coming together.
Also, Darnell Smith, a.k.a. Big Smitty.
Big Smitty.
From the JB show is going to be on the show as well. Enjoy. My name is Joey, joined by my brother, Angel, Mr. Haircut. How you doing?
Good. Keeping up with the Pro Bowl games currently. Today was the...
Why? Was it did it start today?
It was start, some funny stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Was new Pro Bowler Russell Wilson there?
No.
What about Drake May?
Yeah, dude.
Jeez.
Besides it's a participation thing now. It's fun. It's goofy. It's it is what it is.
That's all we're talking about the Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
Episode 210 today, joined by a bunch of people here over at the producer's desk. Double barrel action. 6'5" on a good day. AJ Woodson,
what up?
Packer owner, Gabe Tover.
I gotta say, I'm really impressed that you talk about the Pro Bowl so much.
Yeah, that's shocking.
I mean, it
Did
sucks,
either of you know it was happening today?
No clue.
I saw a clip on Instagram, but I didn't know it started. Like the festivities have started.
I thought it was all on Sunday.
Angel's on it.
No,
what's the more desperate move? Adding an event to the Pro Bowl every year, or who's the guy for the NBA saying, "Well, what if we shorten games?"
Oh.
Maybe will you watch then?
No, the NBA is kind of fucked right now.
Yeah.
I think the NFL does anything will be better than the NBA.
Of
That's
course,
very true.
In our guest chair today, Andrew Rodriguez.
Yeah.
How you been? Backyard brawler himself. How you been, man?
I've been good, man. I'm really, this new studio is dope, dude. It's
Oh yeah,
dope.
first time in the studio.
Oh.
Yes, sir.
Very nice.
Welcome.
Yes, sir.
You put it down, but I need you to get up and go grab that thing over there and show the people what you accomplished this week. We have a league of record that pretty much everyone in the podcast is a part of now, except for Greg.
Fantasy league, yeah.
Fantasy league, a dynasty league, has been going for now for 8 years.
Yeah.
Yep.
And this year, Andrew, in his second year,
Third.
Third
3-year,
year.
the 3-year plan.
Yes.
Yeah.
full rebuild, took home the trophy. It's here for Andrew.
Hey.
Yeah.
Thank you.
He had the worst team I'd ever seen in my entire life of fantasy football.
That
When he
team's
started,
Yeah.
with the team he inherited.
Pretty bad.
Until this year, whoever the new owner is. That team's bad. That's private joke. You won't get it unless you're in the league.
He rode largely what? Jaden Daniels?
Whoa.
Jaden Daniels, Brock Bowers.
Oh, yeah, Brock Bowers. As a
Terry-
Raider fan?
He had the Terry
Yeah.
McLaurin connection.
Terry
McLaurin.
McLaurin was a midseason.
He had the
or
LA
midseason
Rams
trade, yeah.
Wonder
Yeah, for
Boys.
me, you piece of shit.
Yeah.
Kyron,
No.
Puka.
Yeah. Puka, obviously. Puka, when he
Pooks.
came back from the injury, he started going off.
Yeah,
so-
except for when he plays the Eagles.
Yeah,
He had a good game.
But yeah, it was
catch.
man, it was an interesting year. I finished 8-6. I think I was the worst team in the playoffs. I think.
Yeah, man, you were pretty
Or-
shitty.
Yeah, I think it was pretty crazy.
you were the-
Hey,
you were
man,
the
just
60s.
all you
Quick
gotta
tip.
do is get in.
Get in the big dance.
You're proof of that.
If you're watching on YouTube, welcome to the channel.
Hi.
Like, subscribe, turn on notifications, leave a comment if you will. And thank you to all you who have joined recently, followed recently. Share it with a friend. That's always a good time. If you're listening on Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, wherever you get your podcast, thanks for joining the audio version of the Bench Podcast.
Audio.
Brought to you, of course, by the Fans First Sports Network.
Fans First.
If you have not yet, go
No
download.
more TikTok.
Shout out to Fans First.
Fans first. I'll find it. I'll find it.
We got it. We're on
Download BETR Picks, our sponsor. The code's up here in the corner. If you want to put some money on the Super Bowl,
Put a lot of money
If you
on
want
Super
to,
Bowl.
if you want to pick some players, what players are going to go off? Make you a little parlay. You get 10 legs, as much as you want. Right now, if you deposit, every first-time deposit will be matched up to $250. So if you want to say, I want to put $500 on this Super Bowl game, go put $250 down. BETR Picks will give you another $250, and you got $500 on Super Bowl.
And if there's any one game to bet, it's Super Bowl. Like everyone's watching with the commercials and the halftime show, and
if your team didn't make it, like me and AJ don't have that problem. but if your team didn't make it, you want to put some money on, make it a little interesting. Gabe, put some money on it. And Andrew, your team, has they ever been the Raiders?
I think they've been
Not 2002.
not since the Clinton administration, right?
Yeah.
Download BETR Picks though. On today's show, we're gonna get into the
I'm not gonna
coaching.
lie, I thought it was a lot longer.
The coaching carousel news. A lot going on. We haven't really had the chance to talk about it. That's a lie. We have talked about it twice now, me and Angel, and those are lost episodes to the.
Just good old practice. Yeah.
I don't want to get into it.
Sharpening iron.
But now I'm glad to talk about it with everyone in the room. That should be fun. Also joining the show today, Darnell Smith, aka Big Smitty.
Big
from
Smitty.
The JB with Big Smitty Show. Also the Porch Podcast. He also produces for Fox. A lot of different things.
Busy guy.
He's going to join the show as well. Really excited to talk to him about the playoffs so far, the Super Bowl upcoming, and a take I didn't really like that he had about Jalen Hurts. So we talked to him about all that.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to the news. All right, let's get into this news brought to you by BETR Picks. Go download them, use our code BENCHED, or click the link in the description below.
Yeah.
All right, Angel puts the news together, and this is the story he wanted to start with.
Bad lead off.
Ravens kicker Justin Tucker.
Uh-oh.
Well.
Not so innocent.
Has been accused of inappropriate sexual behavior by 6 massage therapists. Justin Tucker's lawyers have denied all misconduct allegations. Multiple therapists say they declined to work with him again, and 2 spas say he's banned.
Stay out.
Now allowed.
They have assigned him.
Justin Tucker.
You rapist.
Angel put a picture in here that honestly that's not fair.
Hey,
That's not fair.
like-minded individuals.
I'm just realizing that is in a massage parlor.
Yeah, I think it's like a co-owned thing.
AI is
Nice.
dangerous, man.
Yeah. AI could
dangerous.
Nice.
AI was cooking today when
Put
it
them at the
came
scene
out.
of the crime.
Yeah.
I like what Terrell said. He kind of because he had some kicking woes. Like they massaged the wrong leg.
Yeah. They massaged the left leg to the right leg.
That's why he came massaged the leg.
It was lopsided.
I mean, is
Whoa.
Is he donezo? Is he done?
He's done. They axed Watson for like a year and a half or as long, and he's done. He wasn't great this year, so I think his career might be done.
Not that obviously if someone suffered a crime, obviously
Yes.
throw the book at him. But does this give the Ravens like a nice out? Like, hey, this guy kind of sucked this year.
That was my first thought, honestly.
Yeah.
Helps him out. I didn't even think of that. That's kind of genius.
Yeah, he wasn't great this year, and this just what a terrible. I know personally this is horrible, but as far as in the career of Justin Tucker, this is not the highlight.
Personally, I've gone through this.
Whoa! I mean, let's look at Justin Tucker where he was 2 years ago.
Like the greatest.
We are all like,
greatest kicker
we
of
are
all time.
witnessing the greatest kicker of all time.
Yep.
He cannot miss. No matter he kicks in Baltimore.
Yep.
So yeah, all that bad weather, the strong leg, the accurate leg in the playoffs. He's money. I mean, it's just it's crazy. How far he has fallen in the public eye in 2 short years.
You know who wouldn't do this?
Oh my god.
America's kicker. Harrison Butker's not doing this. He respects women. Stay in your lane.
And I'm proud to be an American.
I have a flag on me now.
That's all you, man.
Harrison
that's all you.
Butker, America's kicker.
All right, let's get moving here. Eagles have opened practice window for defensive end Brandon Graham. Giving him a chance to play in the Super Bowl. Eagles playing the Super Bowl? Oh, yeah, they are playing the Super Bowl. Who would they beat?
That's crazy.
Commanders, yeah. Eagles are going to play in the Super Bowl, and they might have Brandon Graham. That is wild. I think a torn tricep.
Well, okay, so you've known. So before Graham got hurt, it was a rotation for a second down, or what? How are they using him before
He's
his
definitely
injury?
a situational pass rusher. This
now.
man, some of the biggest sacks in Eagles history.
Yeah.
Most known for the sack on Tom Brady in the Super Bowl to seal the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But if you watch Eagle games, AJ can attest to this. This man makes all the big plays at the end of the game.
Big deal.
He's just built for it.
Yeah.
Also, Brandon Graham, little fact, is the only player left over from the Andy Reid era. So coming back to play his old coach, that's fun as well. If they get Brandon Graham back, and all that on top of he's probably the leader in the locker room.
Yeah.
Like he's the most respected guy in the locker room.
He's the heart and soul.
He's been there a very long time.
And his last game-
it's massive.
Yeah, and you thought his last game was going to be the game where he got hurt. This is nice for him. Like win or lose, his last game was in the Super Bowl. So that's kind of that's obviously one win. But
Don't put that bad juju
That's
out there.
some
You want him
bad-
to go out
Jesus.
a winner. Yeah.
no, I'm just saying like either way he wins. He
Right
gets
off
to
into the
Super Bowl.
sunset, Graham.
The Texans have fired offensive coordinator Bobby Slowik.
Bobby.
So Angel gets his way, and
Yep.
heads roll in Houston.
See ya, buddy. See ya, bud. This happens when your offense doesn't improve or evolve.
There's
at
also
all.
what happens when a quarterback starts to get coaches fired.
Yeah. You're not gonna fire or trade or get rid of C.J. Stroud, so they start pointing fingers. It's pretty notable though that I've seen no interviews or hirings of Bobby Slowik since. Like there's people hiring coordinators.
Let it begin, man.
I haven't seen nothing.
Let the it's not C.J. Stroud's
He's gonna
fault
be-
tour begin.
He'll be a quarterback coach next year, and then he'll Joe Brady had the same thing. He had a rise into 2018 or 19, and then he make him a quarterback coach. Then he'll work his way up again. But
Yeah, so Bobby
Hey,
Slowik, a
yeah.
free agent. We'll see. I think he'll end up he's gonna end up on
I was saying,
a coaching staff somewhere for sure.
would you mind him in Philly? In Philly, if they lose a coordinator, Kellen Moore, if he goes to New Orleans, would you?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind him. I think it'd be great. I think it'd be great. I think there's other guys who I'd like more, but Bobby Slowik, AJ, you go with that? If he's the guy to replace Kellen Moore?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'd be fine with that. We've been jerked back and forth with Kellen Moore because there were reports that he was for sure staying,
Right.
And then people tracking the Saints private jet flying to Philadelphia.
AJ, I don't know if you've heard this, but what I don't get is that have you seen who they're looking to maybe replace him with?
I haven't.
Brian Johnson. I don't know if you remember him, the offensive coordinator from the Eagles last year.
Why?
Because Texas,
don't
some
know.
teams don't know how to be good, and this team,
I don't know.
they seem to be in that path.
Are you kidding me?
Well, he's interviewing, so even the interview is kind of a.
Oh, maybe it's a.
Hey, what's his name?
Oh, this is the Rooney rule. Hey.
Ah.
It's like, hey, just mark on this box what ethnicity you are, and then we'll see if we get an
And
We're
interview.
so happy to have you today.
Thank you for the interview.
I think we do.
I mean, what's his name from Atlanta seemed to work out with Pittsburgh, right? I mean, after
Arthur
the year-
Smith?
Yeah, after the
Yeah.
year he had with the Falcons before.
Well, I mean, Arthur Smith was a terrible head coach, but I mean, it's proven to be. I mean, well, we don't know
At least
about
a good
Pittsburgh's
co- at
offense,
least
but,
a
but
good
yeah,
coordinator.
decent enough coordinator.
Yeah,
you never
Brian
know.
Johnson was bad at being an offensive coordinator, so you want to hire him for offensive coordinator?
For a team that didn't have good offense, 'cause, it's interesting.
Yeah, so his trajectory would be offense coordinator for the Eagles, hired by the Commanders, I think,
Yeah.
not as the offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
And now back as an OC. So that'd be pretty crazy if they stuck.
But all that being said, Bobby Slowik, he'll find a job though.
Either way, it's much worse in Texas for another team. The Cowboys are hiring their own offensive coordinator, Brian Schottenheimer,
Mastermind.
as their new head coach. Out of nowhere, Schottenheimer interviewed this week twice, and now he will be the one tasked with taking over for Mike McCarthy. I think we have a Jerry Jones quote. Yeah. Jerry Jones.
Of course we do.
AJ, I feel like you're the Jerry Jones voice.
It's
There's
hard.
a long quote, though. There's a long quote, though.
Yeah, long-winded one.
I got you.
Watch this producer work. Watch him.
If you don't think I can operate outside my comfort zone, you are so wrong. This is, and actually I watched him say this, this is as big a risk as you can take.
Damn right.
No head coaching experience.
He's just
What a moron.
he loves hyping himself
Yep.
up to himself. Like
And-
this, like biggest risk. This is the safest thing you could do. He's already in the building. There was no one else was asking for an interview with Schottenheimer.
Even if you can like spin it to where it's a big risk, because it is a risk. Like he's got never been a coach before. Like why is that a positive thing?
And here's the thing: he's hyping himself up as like this is such a great decision. I'm so smart for this decision.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you announce this decision Friday night at 10 p.m. when no one can talk about it until 3 days later after conference championship weekend. So you know it's not going to be. You don't want it talked about.
Because we all know what it really is. It's somebody in the building that he can just control completely.
Yep.
That's all
Yep.
this comes
Yep.
down to. That's why he didn't go all Hollywood with it, announce it before the Super Bowl or something like that. He knows this is just another guy that I have full control over in the
Brian
building.
Schottenheimer.
don't we have another quote right here from
another
Jerry
quote?
Jones? Yeah.
I'll read this one, AJ. You don't have to do that. If you really knew my score sheet, you would have seen I've taken more risk in the last 5 years than the rest of my
This
life
guy,
put
dude.
together.
This
I don't know
guy.
I don't know if that's true because I know there's a photo at one point of you taking some risk, like
Well, you took
in a racial way.
well, you took a risk. Well, you took a risk with that girl. Then you had that daughter.
The 20-some-year-old, you
Yeah.
risked
You
20,
risked-
20 years of dodging her.
No, you risked.
You've done a hell of a lot of risky things, Jerry.
Never mind. I'll let you say something crazy, but I'm not gonna say.
Oh, the
You risked
contraceptive.
You risked protection.
Yes.
Now then you had a daughter.
Yep.
That's pretty risky.
Yeah. So you've done some
Shout
risky things,
out to
Jerry.
that girl. Go get your money. I don't know where that story is.
That's
It's funny, you were all about that.
That's buried.
Justice for her, whatever it is.
But all this to say, this is not an inspiring hire. Maybe it works out. Probably not.
Probably not.
Like
It's a perfect hire for him.
What they
Yeah.
had 9 wins this year, 10 wins.
If you heard the full interview, it literally comes down to Jerry Jones saying, "Well, his dad was a pretty good ball coach, and Apple doesn't fall far from the tree." So
yeah, if you learn anything from Chris Sims, he's
that's the
always
most
good at skill sets.
80-year-old reasoning I've ever heard
I
in
was
my
just about
life.
to say, I feel like ageism is appropriate here now. Like
Also nepotism and a bunch of stuff that
Did you
doesn't
see
belong
Cam
in the
Newton's
NFL.
take on this hire and what he
What did he say?
He
Cam.
said Jerry Jones has his master plan to basically tank next year so they can get Arch Manning and bring over Nick Saban from as a head coach.
well, if he were to do that, then okay.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
All right, he did. Maybe he did have a plan.
I'll take it all back if he does.
That'd be
But
crazy.
I would just do that for Dion.
You also got Dak Prescott running around with a pretty big contract.
Yeah.
When you with Dak, he's just a fucking
Nice
idiot.
brand new contract.
Yeah.
Let's start with the Raiders. Good time for Andrew to be in town.
Hey, the
Yeah.
Raiders.
Pete Carroll and the Raiders have now reached an agreement on a 3-year deal with a 4-year team option. Another legendary coach has returned to the game to the division of legendary coaches. Now in the AFC West, you got Andy Reid, who's most likely the GOAT.
Yeah.
You got Sean Payton, who's already doing big things.
Yep.
You have one of the Harbaughs. I forgot what.
Jim.
Yeah, Jim. You got Jim Harbaugh, and now Pete Carroll.
What a conference of resumes.
Not only the oldest coach in the NFL, the oldest coach who ever coached in the NFL.
Doesn't really seem like though.
Doesn't even seem like that.
He's crazy. He's still got the end. He's still got the fastball.
Yeah.
I want to see him come like week 11. How you feeling, Pete?
How's that skin looking, Pete? Look
Pete?
a little tired there, Pete.
How much SPF are you using?
Yeah.
Warmer climate, dome. He's taking.
That's why he did it, because
he knows
it's climate based.
Right. So Pete Carroll in Las Vegas with the Raiders. Obviously, we got to go to our resident Raider fan. Yeah. Andrew, Pete Carroll, Raiders. What do you think?
Here we go.
I'm indifferent about it, man. I think
Okay.
I obviously he's a
You
great
want Antonio
coach.
Pierce back?
No, definitely not. Definitely not. I think he's a great coach, but I don't know. I think it's a good transition to whatever future they're trying to find. I feel like they lost out on the Ben Johnson sweepstakes. From all the reports, they were trying so hard to get him,
Right.
and they just couldn't. And I feel like they just had to go to a backup plan that felt kind of safe.
Right.
And Pete Carroll, I mean, he's a great coach. He has a good resume.
Not one Raider fan's gonna hate. Is gonna hate it.
No.
Yeah,
I think
so.
I think a lot of Raider fans feel hopeful about it, but at the end of the day, can he find a quarterback?
Yeah, it lands softly on the on the Raider Nation. It's like, Pete Carroll, Super Bowl head coach. He went to Seattle, brought that thing from nothing into the Legion of Doom. Yeah. So I like this. I like this head coach hire a lot. It gives culture to a team that had no culture.
Yeah.
Right.
Sure.
Like that's
Oh,
Sure,
Pierce feels something pretty.
it gives them some kind
I
of
was
direction.
gonna say, that's pretty sure. That's exactly what they said about Antonio Pierce too. I don't know.
Well, I mean, this is Pete Carroll.
Culture is great. You got to bring some damn talent to the team.
Well, I think it's different because he's guys will play for Pete Carroll. No one's playing for.
That was Antonio Pierce's thing too.
That was how Antonio Pierce.
But this
ended
is
last
this
year.
is
that was
it's-
supposed to be his strength.
This is different. AP is now nowhere near Pete Carroll.
I think
Pete
what
Carroll.
Angel's saying too, guys will come there to
Yeah,
play for
it's
Pete
different
Carroll.
with Pete Carroll
Antonio
talking to
Pierce
you.
is not
Those guys still in the league?
Antonio
Yeah,
Pierce isn't
yes, they are.
attracting
Bobby Wagner's
players.
gonna go.
No, this is fantastic.
Well, one guy that people have been bringing up that might go play with Pete again in Las Vegas and could be out of a job, formerly of Pittsburgh, Russell Wilson.
Russ.
Wilson,
In Vegas.
Good, safe bridge quarterback.
There's not a chance in hell, right? I mean, right?
Maybe you know what?
I think there's
I
a
think
good
it-
chance
yeah,
of
I
him
think
ending
it-
up
That was
there.
an ugly divorce.
Oh,
I think there's a very good chance. Not so much because of Russ, but because when they got behind him, maybe they feel like it's time to put.
I'm so lost.
No, Fields. I'm saying like as far as like the Steelers, like maybe it is a good time for them because
Well, he's a free
we
agent.
got to take care of.
Or Raiders, what they could do is get both of them and see what happens. Maybe it just didn't work in
Or the
Pittsburgh.
Steelers of last year.
I mean, you would be, Angie, you'd be a lot more excited if they brought Russell Wilson to town or Justin Fields.
I like Phil's youth, but I don't know. That's hard.
You don't want to see Russ with the eye black and the do-rag looking like
In a dome.
looking like Jamie Foxx in that
Passing
movie
for
in, Any Given
128
Sunday.
yards, one touchdown.
Doing the fake huddle before the game.
I think I would be more excited with Justin Fields, but I think with what we got, I think Russell Wilson will bring more wins faster. But he's getting up there in age, and I don't think he's gonna last much longer. So,
But I could see Justin Fields and Pete Carroll working. Pete Carroll wants to run the ball a million times.
That's just incredible. Like, he has the same take. I talked to a Pittsburgh Steelers fan before the season started. He was so hyped for Russ. Couldn't care less about Justin Fields. What?
I don't get it.
I don't understand it at all.
I don't get
People
it.
hate Fields. He's terrible. He must be terrible. Like in
What
person.
about Russell
He's
Wilson?
probably going to massage parlors
Yeah,
too.
what's
That's
so
why.
Well,
great
don't put that on him. Don't put that on. Don't put that on him.
People hate him as if he's one of those
Yeah,
guys.
yeah.
Like,
What about Russell Wilson though? Like, gives you any confidence
so attractive
that you're gonna win games? Like you mentioned, like we might win some games for Russell Wilson.
What?
According to what?
To Andrew's point, it's probably the safe.
I think
safe
it's
guy.
I think
I'm
it's
pretty
more
sure that's
so,
what Pittsburgh thought too.
Yeah, I think it's more so just the experience. I think Justin Fields can be better for sure. I mean,
I think he's already better. I think we already saw that he's better.
It's
I
interesting.
mean, am I
We'll
crazy?
see.
we
see.
haven't seen him in big moments though. We haven't seen him.
Well, because we hasn't
Well,
been
he's,
in
he's never going to get to the big moment if he keeps sitting.
He could have had one in
He
Pittsburgh.
could have had one this year.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right, let's move on here. But no, okay. I want to leave that in a positive way.
Yeah.
It's a good hiring though.
Yeah,
Like I think we all feel good about it.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
Awesome.
We all feel like it's better than the McDaniels fiasco.
Yes, yeah,
Gruden, who's still recovering.
Yeah.
Antonio Pierce, God help us.
Where's Antonio Pierce now?
It's an adult in the room finally for the Raiders.
Yeah.
And then Crosby came out and said that he's for it, which is what you want.
Yeah.
because you want him wanting to leave.
I should say that I hope Antonio Pierce gets some type of position coaching job again. I think he can do something eventually. But
Wow. Once a Raider, always a Raider.
No, I
Linebackers coach or
yeah, like a linebacker coach. Nothing
Motivational speaker.
Don't forget, he's
anything else from the coaching world we're missing?
the Saints can't find anybody.
Yeah. Because nobody wants to go there.
Who else said today? I think today. Like, I'll look for a head coaching spot next year. I know Saleh basically did. Someone else did too. I totally forgot who it is. But yeah, teams are saying no.
Yeah.
Like they're gonna hire Kellen Moore. I barely want Kellen Moore as our offensive coordinator. Like it's crazy. Because how they've handled their contracts for years now. People know whoever gets saddled with this head coaching job is basically gonna get fired.
Yeah, because you start off with $52 million over the cap.
Yep.
So you have to get all that back to zero and then sign guys, then draft guys. With old players, you have Jordan, you have DeMar Davis, the Honey Badger still back there. Derek Carr is still on the roster. You
Yeah.
can't
By
move
the way,
him.
don't ask him for to adjust his contract because of what he's put on film.
He's earned it, Joey.
Oh,
obviously,
my God.
he's earned it.
Yep. Raiders legend Derek Carr.
I mean, what a story if you could turn this around. Like, if you ever want to have a movie made from you, take over the Saints.
I mean, it feels like Kellen Moore's the right guy.
He's gonna get fired.
Like Kellen Moore. Honestly, Eberflus would have worked.
They're just looking for like a sacrificial lamb. That's all they're looking for.
They're
Someone
just looking for a warm body.
just
right
take a year. Just hire someone.
Antonio Pierce could be a good spot for him.
Hey,
Oh
fuck it.
my God.
I'll do it. Fuck it. Everyone go deep, baby. Going balls to the wall here.
They have some pieces. They have some major questions. Like I was pretty excited last year when they had the Shaheed and Olave thing going. Like, wow, those are two nice. And then they both got major.
They both got hurt, and then Derek Carr
sucks.
He plays. That's also a negative. And then
Got
defense,
Kamara extended.
and then the defense is older. That's not. And then Lattimore left, so now you have no. It's just they're doing a lot
I
of
think
bad things.
They just
Lattimore
need to
is
commit to a
ass.
full rebuild and get rid of all the, like you said, they're crazy behind the cap. They need to commit to a full rebuild and just let it go. Just let it go, trying to compete.
They don't want to. They want to be relevant every year, which in the NFC South you kind of can be. It's probably the NFC South's fault because you can win with 9 games and get in in the playoffs. So
The bar is so low.
The bar is so low. Like if we're just an average team, we could win this fucking Super Bowl. that's what they're thinking.
Get really hot at the right
really
time.
hot.
Yeah.
Hey, Derek Carr, just find a groove, man. Gotta hate Derek Carr.
Teams that are still in the playoffs. Eagles, Chiefs.
Yep.
Who do you think of that coaching staff's getting poached? Obviously, we talked about Kellen Moore. You think Spags goes?
Yeah.
Spag's not gonna leave the
He's
Chiefs
not
for
taking
the
the
Saints.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
we
he
were
might,
just talking about how they don't want to take those head coaching jobs, and now why would you if you're in his position?
Yeah.
Stay there, you can get a couple more rings.
Bring Gruden there. Gruden and Derek Carr worked pretty bad, so let's keep it going. and he's never mind.
Yeah, keep going. Ain't always works out well.
No, Gruden is it's a white quarterback, so he should be fine.
There it is.
There you go.
Crazy.
There it is.
Shout out to John Gruden. He probably hates this show.
All right, that's the news. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, Darnell Smith, Big Smitty, joining the show. Be right back.
Don't be a slapdick. This is the real Coach JB. It's a great day to have a great day on the Benched NFL podcast. Peace.
All right, joining us now.
Woo!
A man I've been trying to track down for a while now because he is the busiest man in the fucking NFL media world.
Seems like it.
I don't know, we just talked to him. He has a bunch of jobs. We'll let him talk to you a little bit more about what he has going on. Darnell Smith, a.k.a. Big Smitty. Welcome to the show.
Yeah.
Hey, so I see Smitty.
I'm loving the energy, first of all. That's how you introduce Big Smitty on yourself.
That's what I'm talking about. I feel like when you got a nickname like Big Smitty, bro, that's not even hard.
Hey, real quick, where did that come from? Where did the Big Smitty come from?
Well, obviously, last name is Smith.
Right.
You know, if your last name is Smith, Smitty's always a popular thing. My defensive coordinator in high school, shout out to Coach Tutsy, started calling me Smitty, and it started to stick. All my teammates, all my close friends called me Smitty. And then obviously, as I'm getting bigger in the weight room, and I'm going to college. Now I'm like 285, all muscle, solid.
Shit.
That's when the big got added.
Okay.
Fair enough.
I was just Smitty. Now I'm Big Smitty.
Oh, okay. All right, there you go.
Shout out. I did some homework on you, man. Shout out Warren Central.
Come on now.
Yeah.
I got some.
What you got,
I
man?
thought I had a little helmet here. I would have brought it and showed you. But shout out to them.
You're too big, man.
You
You're
too-
too big.
Forget about the little people out
And
there.
shout out, of course, Ball State, man. Played there for a couple years. Looks like you were a leading sacker for a couple of years there, right?
Chirp, man. Listen, I'm not one to brag. I am an all-conference player, all academic.
Hell
player.
yeah.
captain of the team, played the Super Bowl games,
Yeah,
pictures
what?
on the weight room.
What?
But that's it. That's
My man's
it.
flexing right. My man's flexing right now. He wasn't flexing, but now he's flexing.
Humble brag. And then now, of course, you got a lot going on. You got the Porch Podcast. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so the Porch Podcast, man, shout out to my co-host and good friend, Brian, a.k.a. Bolo Jones. He was actually one of my teammates at Ball State.
Okay.
He was a dog, too. Played safety from Chicago. We started that actually even before I really got deep into the entertainment space, before I moved out to L.A. And it was just an opportunity for us to, like, have just authentic conversations about, you know, topics and more in the cultural space. You know, whether it's just pop culture, music, anything trending online, and we oftentimes bring on special guests and from all walks of life. We had athletes, actors, entertainers, people in the adult film space, whoever you may be doing, we're open to all of it, and we bring them on the court. So.
AKA the ratings.
Yeah.
The ratings. And then now, of course, the Coach JB show with Big Smitty. How did you get hooked up with JB? And listen, man, I always thought you were an LA dude. When I watched you guys, I always thought, like, because you talk like your Instagram stories, you're always cruising around LA. Then today I found out you're from Indy.
Come on now, I'm a Midwest guy through and through, born and raised Indianapolis. Shout out to Naptown, 317 Far East Side.
Okay.
But I've been in LA for about 7 years now, and this is my new home. I don't plan on leaving. But yeah, JB. So JB. So one of my 9 to 5, I work at Fox Sports. So my previous show years ago was called Speak for Yourself, where Marcellus Wiley and Jason Whitlock co-host. So right around when Last Chance U was still popping, Coach JB came on as a guest. I think we might have met once real brief, and that was the end of that. Years later, obviously, you know, pandemic hit, and Marcellus is having like a birthday party for his wife in Hollywood. And I get invited, JB gets invited, and, you know, we meet up, we're talking. Again, not even talking about the show, just kind of getting to know each other. Fast forward again, like another 6 months, and JB follows me on everything. It's Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. And then he ends up DMing me. He's like, hey, man, I just got done talking to Marcellus. He says that, you know, he's not for sure what your schedule's like right now, but I'm looking for a new co-host for my show. You know, this, that, and the third. We talked for a minute. We met up, went to Yard House, had some food, sat there for hours, talked about the game plan.
Yeah.
And I said, you know what, let's do it. And now it's been been almost 2 years now, and we've just been grinding away. We've built this thing up. I think when I hopped on, it was at maybe like 30-ish thousand subscribers, maybe even.
You're around 60 now, right?
Now we're at 60.
Yeah.
You know, so we're rolling.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Man, yeah. If you guys don't follow the Coach JB show with Big Smitty, go follow it. You'll be thoroughly entertained.
Yeah, it's entertainment to the max.
It is freaking
you
hilarious.
guys are great. It's awesome when I wake up. You know, like on my Instagram feed, some wild shit's being said.
Yeah,
love it.
Yeah, I gotta put the kids away though. My wife said when you guys come on, the kids are live in the room.
You never know what's gonna happen on our show.
You really don't. Yeah.
Even I don't know.
Hey, bro. Sometimes I feel like if you guys were in the same room, might be some furniture moving. Might be like sometimes it gets intense, bro.
Some misunderstandings up in there.
We've had some. I mean, you guys remember we were in person in our studio for a little while. We had like a popular scene where men were going back and forth. I don't know if it was a Tyreek Hill debate. It was something we had, but at the end of the day, JB, like, as men, we can get loud and be passionate, but understand, like, it's all just passion. It's nothing serious. That's my guy. I'm his guy. And us having that football background, we're so used to loud environments that the yelling and stuff doesn't really do anything. So I'm used to that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's just the tip of the iceberg of what this man's involved in, producing, all sorts of behind-the-scenes stuff. So all that to say, man, once again, we appreciate you being on the show with us. We got a couple NFL questions for you, if that's okay.
Let's dive into it.
All right, let's jump into it, man. Obviously, the championship round just wrapped up, and even before that, divisional round, I got two guys I want to ask you about. That's Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen. Two guys that just seem to same old with them. And where do you go from here if you're those two guys and their teams? Are we just running it back? Are we just bowing down and kissing the ring over in Kansas City? What do we do?
Well, I'm going to start in Buffalo. If I'm Buffalo, I do think there's some room for improvement, specifically on the offensive side. They shout to Jim and James Cook. I think he really, hit his stride this year. So I think they're good at the running back position. Obviously, Josh Allen has the quarterback position on lock, but he can use some help at the wide out position. I think having a threat, a real threat on the outside can truly open up that offense even more and provide even more running lanes for both Josh Allen and James Cook. And a guy that comes to my mind, I'll say two guys. One, T. Higgins, if the Bengals can't find a way to pay him. But number two, Tyreek Hill. I don't think Tyreek Hill's going back to Miami. You guys remember that last game of the season?
Yeah.
He took himself out and pretty much said he wasn't coming back. I mean, in a nutshell, in his press conference. Imagine Tyreek Hill with Josh Allen in that offense. That would be scary. So I think Buffalo needs a wideout. Now, Baltimore, maybe some help on the defense, but the defense started to roll later on in that season. So it's hard to even stay there. I mean, I would say if they had a top tier edge rusher to just truly make huge impact, I think that would be a good get. Maybe somebody from the draft, or if there's somebody that they could possibly pick up from free agency. Other than that, man, I think Derrick Henry's going to be good for another year or two. Lamar's in his peak prime. Dave Flowers, a top-tier wide receiver. You got Mark Andrews and Isaiah Likely, two of the top tight ends. I think when it comes to the Ravens, they have to be at their best when it matters the most.
Right.
And that starts with Lamar Jackson and also funnels down throughout the rest of the team. I still, to this day, feel like the Ravens is the best team in the AFC.
Oh.
They just don't put it all together when it matters the most, and that's why I get so frustrated.
Right.
So you're saying that the Buffalo Bills need like a Stephon Diggs type of elite playmaker? You're saying so? I feel like we're just doing the whole thing again. So let's get Tyree.
That's a question I was going to ask too. Like, do you think that ended up hurting him at the end, not having Stephon Diggs or someone like that?
I mean, I honestly think so. I mean, listen, we all know, man, that wide receivers can be divas. A lot of your star players sometimes can be a headache, but you need them too.
Yeah.
Right? Let's be real. Like you need those guys. Now listen, Patrick Mahomes is an outlier. He's just winning. Like whoever you put out there, he's gonna find a way. Tom Brady was the same way. But outside of those cats, everybody else who wins championships, they got guys. So I just think that Stephon and Josh Allen, what they had was beautiful. They both helped each other out. Stephon had career years. Josh Allen had career years. So I'm not saying Stephon Diggs specifically should have stayed.
Yeah.
But, I do think he needs some sort of 1A
kind
type
of
guy.
presence.
And Tyreek's a dog. I think Tyreek Hill, he
Yep.
doesn't cause a lot of issues really on the field. I think he would be
Right.
perfect fit.
Well, while we're on the topic of the Buffalo Bills and Baltimore Ravens, I've been hard on the head coaches for not being able to get over that hump. What would you do as far as like how much time would you give them more on top of they're already 8+ years? These head coaches, John Harbaugh and McDermott. How much longer would you give them, or is it their fault, or how would you do the head coach? Because I'm on the side of like they've done the best that they can. This is the highest that they can go.
This dude wants to fire him.
No, because it's the same thing year after year after year. And there has to be some kind of change, and you're not going to get rid of these quarterbacks. So my thing is get rid of the coaches and try to get a new vibe, a new culture in there. Like, where are you with that?
That's risky, man, because these teams are reaching high levels of success. You got to think the last 2 years, both Buffalo and Baltimore has both been in the AFC Championship game.
Yeah.
Both a touchdown or a couple plays away from actually winning the game. So it's not like they're far off. My question for you is, if you let go of Sean McDermott, you let go of John Harbaugh, who are you bringing in?
Mm-hmm.
That's the question.
I mean,
the grass isn't always greener on the other side.
Yeah, we just had a Vrabel. Vrabel would have done great both sides. We just had a Pete Carroll there. So guys, it's a different type of.
I mean, wasn't Vrabel doing the?
But
it was the same thing happened in Vrabel.
But it's just a different type of voice in there. And look, how much more can you give this Baltimore team? You just said that the Baltimore Ravens had the best roster in the NFL, and this head coach hasn't gotten the best out of his best roster. So something's got to give it. We're wasting Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen years. And
tell him, man. This dude wants everyone's heads wants to roll.
Well, if you want to, you have to change it up. You have to do something different. Stephon Diggs leaving wasn't good enough.
Darnell, it sounds like you would more err to like, let's keep running it back and just keep trying to climb that mountain.
That's where I'm at, man. Listen, winning a Super Bowl and even getting there is extremely hard to do. And I think us sometimes as fans or analysts, like we get so like caught in this like the stardom of the players, of the quarterbacks, and we get lost in this feeling like, well, they got everything they need. They should be in the Super Bowl. It should be that easy. No, it's not. It's extremely hard to do. There's so many factors, injuries. I mean, we haven't even brought up the fact that Lamar's number one receiver, Zay Flowers, was out for the entirety of the playoffs. We just brushed that over like that didn't have any impact. Definitely did. Zay Flowers is a baller. He would have definitely made some plays in the playoffs in that game. It's not about making excuses, but I'm saying when it comes to like coaching, they can only do so much.
Right.
At the end of the day, it's about Jimmys and Joes, not X's and O's. I started from JV, but I think that is real. The players got to go out there and play. And unfortunately for both Buffalo and Baltimore, they're running into the Patrick Mahomes era. It takes you back to like the NBA and the Michael Jordan era. Think about there's so many players that just didn't win championships just because they kept running into Jordan. You know, Charles Barkley, Karl Malone, a couple names that comes to mind. Sometimes you're just in the wrong era. And I'm not saying it's over for those guys. They're still young. Peyton Manning took forever to get his first. I'm a Colts fan, obviously. Peyton Manning is my favorite quarterback of all time.
Yeah.
Year after year after year, it was something. Either the defense or Peyton Manning just folds in the playoffs or couldn't get past Tom Brady. But at some point, they finally got through.
Right.
They kept Tony Dungy as the head coach, kept rolling, and they finally got through. So I think Harbaugh and McDermott are both really like two of our top coaches in the league right now. I don't think it'll get better just to go get somebody else.
Let's talk about someone who did make it through. That's my boy. I'm an Eagles fan, man. Jalen Hurts, my guy in his second Super Bowl in his young career. And I was fishing on your all's page, man, and I found something that you said, a list that you gave that kind of pissed me off, Darnell. Like, I don't get it, man. I don't get you and a lot of people like you. You ranked the remaining quarterbacks in the championship round, right? And first you had Patrick Mahomes. Then you had Jaden Daniels at number 2. You had you had Josh Allen first.
Yeah, Josh Allen.
And then Jaden Daniels, and then Patrick Mahomes. And way down at 4th, man, you have Jalen Hurts, number 4. Let me ask you right now. Has seeing him head-to-head against Jaden Daniels, has that swayed you at all? Are you still good with your ranking?
I feel great about my ranking. I feel amazing.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. Put Jalen Hurts on Washington and put Jaden Daniels on Eagles, and they match up. I think the Eagles, same thing happened. Jaden didn't play bad. Jaden did not play bad. They had the game was close. It was 12-14. Then it was 23-34. It was a good game. Every time Washington got momentum, turnover on special teams. Receiver fumbles the ball. It just at some point, and every time the Eagles scored on those situations. So listen, I like Jalen Hurts. I like his I think his leadership. I like how hard he works. I like the fact that he is a winner. I can't take that away from him, whether it's in college, at Bama, Oklahoma, and Philly. He's a winner. He has those intangibles that you can't really coach up. But we're keeping it all the way 1,000, keeping it real.
Yeah.
Talent-wise, he's all right.
Oh my God, bro. Oh my God.
But he's not in the same breath as a Josh Allen, a Lamar Jackson, a Joe Burrow, a Patrick Mahomes.
He's been more Super Bowls than Josh Allen, man. Come on, give him something. Give him something. Josh Allen has never seen Super Bowl in his lifetime.
He's in the
But
NFC.
I also say this: Jalen Hurts is on the NFC.
Yeah.
So he doesn't have to run into Patrick Mahomes, that killer. That's the problem. You don't think if just hypothetically, if Josh Allen, the Bills was on the NFC team, that they wouldn't have at least made the Super Bowl at least one year?
I know.
They probably would. It's Mahomes. He can't be Mahomes. That's it.
Yeah. I mean,
so that's what I like Jalen Hurts though, and I just think it's hard to like put him in like that tier 1 level because my eyes work. You know, I see what I see, and it's like form isn't super big. He's inconsistent on his accuracy and his timing. There's a reason why this team is a defense and heavy run team. That's their strength. Now, last week he played well. He had a lot of short field situations, though, that was beneficial. He took advantage of it. Credit to him. We need to see him do that now, though. Forget all that. It's the biggest game of the world.
We've seen him do it. I don't know, man. We've seen him do it in the Super Bowl, first of all, against Patrick Mahomes, against the Chiefs, against Spagnoulo, all that. And then I can't get past, man, head-to-head with Daniels, and I get they're facing very different defenses. So that's some context. But, I mean, he outplayed him. And it wasn't all short yardage stuff. I think of the 4th down throw to A.J. Brown down. I'm in a bucket, my guy. And then, I mean, multiple times.
Do you think that the tush push hurts his reputation, that he's only known as like a gimmicky running?
Not.
No, because
that's stupid as hell.
I feel like people think that. People think that because he does the tush push so much, it like gets away from everything else that he does well. Because people know him as like the engineer of the tush push. Does that affect his reputation at all?
How don't know if it hurts his reputation. I do think it kind of devalues his stats a little bit. Because I'm not exactly sure what the exact number was, but he had like, was it like 15 rushing touchdowns this season? It might be. It's somewhere in that ballpark. You guys can correct me. 18?
I think so. I want to say 18. Check it out.
It's whatever. It's in the team. So my point is like, but when you get the context, it's like, well, he's just leaning forward for 18 times. It's kind of like it's not the exact same as.
Listen,
hold on, that lean forward. I haven't seen.
I only played in high school, man. You played in college, my guy. You played in college. You know they ain't no damn lean. He's digging that out, man. Ask Frankie Louvu.
The way they do it though was like flawless. No one.
Yeah, they got it.
The scheme, the O line. There's nothing you can do with a D lineman. There's nothing you can do. You saw Louvu kept diving over the top, just trying to time the thing out. Nothing you can do to stop it. So I mean, listen, I like Jalen. I promise you, I do. I'm not trying to attack Jalen. I just think we got to be honest. So, like, let me ask you this: you put him in the same bucket as like Josh Allen, Lamar, Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow?
Yeah, I did a ranking today just 'cause I knew I was going to ask you this question. I wanted to make sure I knew where I was. I have him as a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. I have Mahomes, Joe Burrow is my number 2. And Joe Burrow number 2, Josh Allen number 3, Lamar Jackson's number 4, and Jalen Hurts, two Super Bowls. Just does what's asked of him.
Does a winning quarterback not mean anything to people? He goes to Super Bowls.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. He beat the Ravens, Bills, and who's the other AFC team?
Oh, this year? Well, a lot of teams.
Bills last year, Chiefs last year, Ravens this year.
My guy just wins, man.
I hear you, man. Hold on, did Jalen beat him or did Saquon beat him? I didn't hear you correctly.
No.
Who do you think transfers the ball, man? Who transfers? You know what I'm saying? Like,
who says hike?
All right, I want to move on here. So you guys talk a lot of Colorado, obviously, man. So I can't think of a better person to ask this next question. Go ahead.
All right. Just because there's gonna be so much talk this year with the draft and Shedeur Sanders. If you needed a quarterback, say Washington or one of the teams, top 5,
Tennessee.
top 10. If you needed a quarterback, would you trade the future for Shedeur Sanders, Carson Beck, Ward?
Is he that dude?
Or is there one of these guys in this draft?
Man, I'm gonna be real with you. Y'all know I'm a Deion supporter. I support Shedeur and the Sanders, but I don't think this draft has any quarterback that I'm willing to risk my future for. I'm gonna be honest.
There you go.
Now that doesn't mean that they won't turn out to be something.
Right.
I mean, we see that happens all the time, right? Where quarterbacks will surprise us. I'm just saying, with the evidence that we currently have, there's no sign of any of these quarterbacks, whether it's Cam Ward, Shedeur, Jackson Dart. Any of these guys have shown me that, oh, this is a guaranteed lock. Now, you guys probably remember, like, when Andrew Luck was coming out of college, he knew for a fact.
Right.
That's the real deal.
Yeah.
We don't have those in this draft right now. They got to show me. I think system's going to matter tremendously for Shedeur. I think he's going to need some good support from an O-line standpoint because he holds the damn ball too long, and he has to change that, too, or he's going to get killed in the next level.
Ask Caleb Williams.
Having a strong running game, exactly.
Yeah.
Having a strong running game will help. So, I made the argument that I think Cleveland would be a decent fit for him. I know people hate Cleveland and they think it's cursed, but having a good, strong running game, solid O-line, you know what I'm saying, they can use some help on the wide outside for sure, but he has a strong defense. Hopefully Myles Garrett stays there a little longer. I think he will have some success there, but there's no lock.
Yeah, do you think he's a good fit with the number overall pick, Tennessee Titans? Do you think that's a good fit for him? They have shaky O-line, okay run games, not a lot out there as far as talent. Like, do you think that's a decent fit?
I think it's okay. I think it's okay. It's not my number one. It's not my number one choice because of the reason you just listed. Like you said, their O-line's kind of shaky. It's like everything's just okay.
Yeah,
right. You know what I'm saying? Like there's nothing. And I guess when you get drafted this high, that's just what it is. You're going to be on a team that's not that good. You know what I'm saying? So it's just tough. It's tough, man. I don't want to put him in a position where they're putting the full load on Shedeur to change the entirety of the franchise. Now, I'm not sure if he's that guy. Now, with Tennessee, though, the benefit is that they're in a bad division in the AFC South. So, like, even if he goes there, let's say he's able to just muster up 9 wins, that might be enough to win the division.
It might.
So, it's just, that's the thing. So,
last thing I got for you, man. Super Bowl's in, less than 2 weeks now. I need to get a prediction from you.
Oh, man. All week long, I've just been thinking and kind of going back and forth. I think the Eagles are better in like every position except quarterback. But Jalen Hurts is still good and can be better than Mahomes on one day, like you said we've seen before. The Eagles should win. Like, all logic says they should win.
Here we go.
But you're not gonna pick them up.
But the problem is the game is going to be close.
Yeah.
It's not going to be a blowout.
Right.
We know that.
Right.
And when the game is close and Andy Reid and Mahomes is on that field, for some reason, whether it's a bad call, whether it's just some crazy play, like something always goes in the Chiefs' favor to where they end up winning.
I wish you weren't right.
I'm rooting for the Eagles.
Let's go.
Like, it's anybody but the Chiefs. I'm going home. I'm a Jalen Hurts fan all week.
There we go.
Yeah.
But if I'm putting aside my bias, it's hard to go against the Chiefs. Until I see somebody beat them, I can't see it.
I feel like that's kind of everyone's sentiment is that you want the Eagles.
They're pulling for Jalen, but their money's on the Chiefs.
But then the Chiefs are get the ball with 1:27 to go, and you're gonna know what's gonna happen. Yeah.
All right, man.
I think the Eagles need to be up by like 10, 12 points with like a minute.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
For me to feel like, okay, the game is over. You know what I'm saying? Like,
hey, man, well, we appreciate you, man, spending some time with us, talking a little ball.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming on. Go check out the Coach JB Show with Big Smitty, the Porch Podcast. Just go follow us, man. Just put up all sorts of content all around the globe. Thanks, Smitty.
Hey.
yes, sir. Appreciate y'all, man. Y'all have a good one.
Take it easy, man. Take it easy. Hey, thanks so much for joining us for episode 210. We will see you again on Monday with a huge show.
Yeah.
A very huge man will join the set.
Yep.
I can't wait to ask him some questions.
Yep.
It's going to be a little icy in here.
Yeah, a little cold, a little frigid. Yeah.
It's really good. See you Monday.
Peace.
Bye.